What's going on YouTube? This is Trey here from Team Hotheads, and I know I've been gone for a long time, but I am finally back, and I am finally ready to get back into the grind of posting new Yu-Gi-Oh content. So if you wouldn't mind liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and letting a friend know that Team Hotheads is back. So before I jump into what is clearly a Plunder Patrol deck profile, I want to just let you guys get caught up on something. So the game plan for this Yu-Gi-Oh channel, or this card game channel, because if you've been watching, I don't only play Yu-Gi-Oh, I also play Dragon Ball Super. I've dabbled in the Naruto Chrono Clash card game. I've dabbled in the Digimon card game that's only available in Japan currently. So I do play other card games. However, the format that I'm going to be trying to follow is as such. There's going to be a deck profile at least twice a month. In the same week that the deck profile is uploaded. In that same week, there will be a combo / test hand video to go along with said deck profile. For something like Dragon Ball Super, it's a little trickier to try to do like a test hand or a combo. So I think instead, if it comes to a week where I'm going to post a Dragon Ball Super deck profile, what I'll do instead is post 2 Dragon Ball Super deck profiles as opposed to trying to do a test hand. It's a lot easier to do a test hand or a combo tutorial for Yu-Gi-Oh than it is Dragon Ball Super. So, now that that business is out of the way, let's get into this business of Plunder Patrol, one of my most fun decks I love to play. Now, before you start judging me, understand this is pure Plunder Patrol. There's no link cross, no needlefiber, none of that nonsense. This is just Plunder Patrol cards. I wanted to see how God could do the deck pure. So it's kind of like a Plunder Patrol kind of control based deck. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the deck profile, and then here's how I'm going to do this. I like to set it up kind of like this. So we're going to do 3 copies of Plunder Patrol Whitebeard, 3 copies of Redbeard, 3 copies of Golden Hair, and 3 copies of Bluebeard. I think I'm going to kind of have this format just because in the technology era we live in, I know it's kind of fast paced. What this allows my viewers to do is to just snap a screenshot of what I'm using in case they miss something, in case they're skipping through the video, trying to find certain parts they want to see, in case they're busy and they're just kind of listening to it. That's why I do explain everything, and that's why I do it this way. That way you can kind of just take a screenshot if you have to. I know I've done that on videos before when I'm trying to get inspiration and I don't really have time to watch the video. Sometimes I'll just screenshot the part I need. So, that being said, Whitebeard and Redbeard share the same quick effect, which is during your opponent's turn, you can tag them out into a Plunder Patrol ship that corresponds to an attribute your opponent controls or has in their graveyard. Bluebeard and Golden Hair share the similar aspect of being extenders. Golden Hair can summon herself from the graveyard by discarding a card, as well as from the hand by sending a Plunder Patrol card from field or hand to grave. Bluebeard can summon himself as long as you control a Plunder Patrol card. That's how these two work. Whitebeard also can summon a Plunder Patrol card from deck, monster from deck, if he's sent from the field or hand to the graveyard. In contrast to that, Redbeard, when he's sent from field or hand to graveyard, will equip himself to a Plunder Patrol card on the field. Okay? Keep that in mind as you think about these combos. We'll move on. Supporting the Plunder Patrols, we have 2 copies of Whitebeard. I'm sorry, not White Stingray. 2 copies of Ash Blossom, 2 copies of Ghost Ogre, and 1 copy of Gamma Seal. Let me explain. Okay, I chose White Stingray over Silent Angler for 2 reasons. 1, White Stingray allows you to discard a water monster to summon itself. These guys are all water monsters. Okay. Whitebeard has an effect if he's sent to the graveyard. Red Bear has effectively sent to the graveyard. Golden Hair can summon herself back from the graveyard. So it synergizes really well. Also, in the event you don't need this guy, chuck him and summon that guy. Okay? Second reason I chose White Stingray over Silent Angler is I already had access to White Stingray, and I wasn't about to wait, for the mail to bring me a Silent Angler when this can do the same kind of job. Ghost Ogre destroys activated effects of face-up cards, which is great with Dark Magician running around because of Dragoons, Red Eyes. You can clear circles, clear souls. With Numeron combo running around, this can stop Numeron Network, so that's always wonderful. And then Ash Blossom is kind of just a safety net. I don't care what you're playing. If it searches, I'm going to say no. So this will be a Ash Blossom. The other great part of Ash Blossoming and Ghost Ogre, we'll see once we get a little further into the deck profile. So moving on to the spells. We're playing 3 copies of Plunder Patrol Shipyard, 3 copies of Plunder Patrol Tongue Twister, aka Plunder Patrol Ship Shape Ship Shipping, and 2 copies of Emblem of the Plunder Patrol. So, you could tinker with these ratios. This is in here primarily to be sent to the graveyard to then be banished to either equip this to someone or a Plunder Patrol monster to something on the field. I oftentimes discard Ship Shape Shipping for the cost of Shipyard or for the cost of Golden Hair, or I just send it straight with Foolish Burial Goods. I almost never use its fusion effect, but it does come up, and when it does come up, it's pretty great because then you can do the fusion and then discard, and then banish it to then equip the fusion monster with something. Shipyard is like the greatest field spell ever. It increases all of your Plunder Patrol cards by 500 attack for every Plunder Patrol card face up in your spell and trap card zone. I've literally just ran through cards just to put them face up in the spell and trap card zone, just to boost my cards up strong enough to be able to beat over something. Emblem allows your Plunder Patrol card to equip with to gain 500 attack, as well as not be targeted by your opponent's card effects. And then it has the added benefit of being able to allow you to tag that equipped monster out for a different ship that corresponds to an attribute within your field, your opponent's field, your graveyard, and your opponent's graveyard. And that's why I said Ash Blossom as well as Ghost Ogre are pretty great in the deck, because if you get to a point where you've already used your Ash Blossom or you've already used your Ghost Ogre, but your opponent has no corresponding attribute, if you play Emblem, you can still go in to Brawn and or Lice. So that's why the hand traps are pretty really relevant in this particular build. Moving on to the supporting cast, similar to the monsters. Running 2 copies of Pot of Desires, 2 copies of Salvage, 2 copies of Foolish Burial Goods, 1 copy of Foolish Burial, and 1 copy of Terraforming. I only played 2 copies of Desires. Yes, do not kill me. I'm not going to play 3. If you look at pretty much any of my other deck profiles, you will see that I am a glutton for playing 2 copies of Desires, because I do not want to have that terrible moment when I draw Desires off of Desires, and please let me explain, okay? When you're playing Plunder Patrols, the biggest disadvantage you have is that you're playing with a 4-card hand, okay? What I mean by that is to say that at the end of your combo, you have to have a Plunder Patrol card in hand to do anything with your ships, okay? That being said, that means if we start with a hand of 5, there's 1 card I can't use if I want to use my ships on my opponent's turn. That's why I need the Desires. That's why I need that extra draw power. That's what it's for. Salvage is also great because after you do your combos, you can always just play Salvage, put the Plunder Patrols back in your hand. So Salvage and Desires essentially serve the same purpose, which is to hopefully let me end with a Plunder Patrol ship on board with also a Plunder Patrol card in hand. Foolish Burial Goods, like I said, is here to send Ship Shape Shipping to the graveyard. Forged Burial is in here to send Golden Hair to graveyard. And Terraforming is here only to search Shipyard, because, like I said, Shipyard is just so amazing. On to our traps. There are only 5 of these bad boys. There were 6, but I did get to a point where I cut out it was a Phantom Knight card, the Shade Brigadier, I believe it is. Whatever the one that summoned the stuff was level 4, I ended up cutting that out. So instead we have triple copies of Plunder Patrol Booty, because the booty is mine and it belongs to me, and you cannot have my booty. This is such a great card. And then we're going to finish that off with 2 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Plunder Patrol Booty is the card you need when you run into those decks that say, oh, I'm not going to play a fire monster or a dark monster or a light monster, so you're just going to lose. That's where Booty comes into play. Because Booty comes into play and says, your monster is going to be whatever attribute I tell it to be, and you're going to deal with it. That's what it does. Lets you declare an attribute, target opponent's monster, change it to that attribute regardless of whether this card stays on the field or not. You can then take a Plunder Patrol card from your graveyard, shuffle it back into the deck, or you can summon it. Which means if you summon any of your extra deck monsters properly, you need to bring them right back. Infinite Impermanence, we all know Infinite Impermanence does. It basically shuts off your opponent's monster for the turn, as well as your opponent's column for the turn. So anybody running off muscle memory might accidentally run themselves right into an Infinite Impermanence. Now, you can also run Evenly Matched. I typically keep it in my side deck, but if you wanted to cut a couple cards, say you wanted to have 2 Evenly Matches in here, you probably could cut a copy of Shipping and maybe a copy of Booty to include Evenly Matched in the main deck. Extra deck wise, we're going to have 2 copies of Plunder Patrol Blackbeard, 2 copies of Plunder Patrol Lice, 2 copies of Patrol Ship Braun, and 2 copies of Patrol Ship Mork. If you've been living under the rock and you don't know what these things do, let me explain. Blue allows you to tag out any effect monster into one of the ships, as well as draw a card. And that is also a quick effect. Purple allows you to negate a monster effect, which is a quick effect while it is equipped with a Plunder Patrol card. It also allows you to summon a Plunder Patrol monster that is in your spell and trap card zone back to the field. That means if this guy and or Redbeard, Whitebeard, Golden Hair, or Bluebeard are anywhere down here, he can bring them right back out, which is always awesome. Braun is going to let you banish a spell trap card your opponent controls and then search a Plunder Patrol monster. Braun is going to let you, Mork is going to let you banish a monster your opponent controls and then search a Plunder Patrol spell. And not to mention that Lice, after it negates a monster effect, will allow you to search any Plunder Patrol card you have. Now, just like this guy has a secondary effect, these two both have secondary effects. Mork also allows you to detach a material to save any of your Plunder Patrol cards from being destroyed, similar to Return of the Dragon Lords or Crusadia Arborea. Plunder Patrol Ship Braun grants all your other Fiend monsters an extra 500 attack. It's kind of weird it didn't give it itself an extra 500 attack, but if you combine this guy with the field spell, all of these guys get pretty beefy. Racing through the rest of the extra deck, we play 1 copy of Solomon Great Amirage and 1 copy of Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep is at its most effective in this deck, I believe, because you have such easy access to XYZ, Synchro, and Fusion monsters. Amirage is a great card to have if you only open up with Golden Hair, because Golden Hair becomes Blackbeard as long as you have Amirage in extra deck. Utopia and Lightning. I did not want to have to brick with Double or Nothing and or have to take that extra step from Utopia Double, which can easily be hand trapped. So I just went with the straight up old school Utopia into Lightning. Number 41 and Abyss Dweller, 2 of the best rank 4 monsters. While it's in defense mode, puts everything in defense mode, no effects can be activated, and then shuts off graveyard effects. Plus gets the added attack stat boost because all these monsters are water. And the last card we're going to round off with, and I'm going to have to explain this card just a little bit, is this bad boy here. Ooh, I love the way this card looks. Emancipator, Risen Dragite. Now, I love this card for two reasons. One, it's a generic spell trap negate that you can easily play in Plunder Patrols. The second is its first effect that people look at me and go, you don't have any rock monsters. What's the point of having this card? Well, if you read closely on Dragite, it says excavate up to 5 cards from the top of your deck. For any rock monster you excavate, you get to return a card your opponent controls to the hand, then put all excavated cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. It does not say that you specifically have to excavate a rock type monster. That being said, it allows me to essentially remove any unwanted cards from the top of my deck by just looking at the top 5 and going, are enough of these cards Plunder Patrol monsters? And in the event that it's a bunch of desires and foolish barrels and stuff that I don't need, we just put them on the bottom of the deck and keep going about your business. And that's why I really love this card. Other than that, that's the end of the deck profile. I'm not going to ramble on for too much longer. I'm going to wrap this up at least 17 minutes. So I'm just going to say thank you. I'm glad to be back. Thank you for sticking with me. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to stay tuned for the combo video, test hand video, that's going to come along with this Plunder Patrol deck profile. This is Trey from Team Hotheads. It's good to be back, and I will catch you guys in the next video.